Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Hockey and joined by head coach Bob Daniels. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Rob.
Final game of the regular season this week as you travel to Lake Superior State on Friday, and kind of hard to believe you're to that point where you start looking to the postseason coming up next week.
Boy, it is hard to believe that, it seems like during the season, you're so in the moment. And then when you sit back and think that we've gone through another full season again, it's hard to believe. But we look forward to the games, the game. We only played one this weekend with Lake State. We played them not too long ago and had a good weekend series against them where we won both games. They got the best of us in the first half in a single game, so two teams are pretty close.
As we go back to the highlights of this past weekend, final two home games of the year as you took on Northern Michigan, and obviously a couple big crowds on hand and some great hockey between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats.
Yeah, we did have good crowds both nights, particularly Saturday night. If it wasn't a sellout, it was really darn close to it. And yeah, in this first game here, it was really a really good hockey game. We ended up on the wrong side of a 3-2 score. We get on the board first quick in the period, but it really was a good game. There was lots of opportunities for both teams. I thought both goalies played very well. They get their first goal there and a tip, and the guy picked it out of the air. But on the game, they ended up with two power play goals, and that really was the difference in the game. And we weren't able to get a power play goal, and they scored twice on it. But I was proud of the way the guys played. Here's just a fortuitous bounce for Northern. The guy blocked the shot, went right to the other guy, and he buried it. But all in all, I was happy. A little bit of a blown coverage here. It's something we talked about going into Saturday's game. They're a good line rush team.
Obviously, 3-1 lead going into the third period, but your guys really battled. You outshot them for the game, and finally get a goal coming up here late to pull back within a goal.
Yeah, I mean, we never gave up on it, that's for sure. And here we score with about a minute 10 to go in the game. Luigi Benacasa, great freshman for us this year. And we got the goalie out again, had a power play the last 14 seconds. We needed to win that draw. We didn't, but we fought right to the end, and we did. I thought we probably carried the play all in all that night.
3-2 final, and we'll talk more about the senior class. You had a senior ceremony before the game on Saturday night, and you mentioned great crowd on hand and a great game again between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats.
Yeah, it really was. It was a terrific. We enjoyed the ceremony before the game. The parents come out, and it was awesome. But the whole key was senior night, so you got to win. You got to win on a senior night, and I told the guys that. And again, it's the game. This game, through overtime was 1-1. So in that type of situation where it's 1-1, you think, well, maybe it was a boring game, but it wasn't. It was lots of action. Goaltending was great at both ends of the rink. The goal we just saw was at Fairmouth. That's his 6th on the year, 7th maybe, pretty much all in the second half of the year. Here's the one goal that Northern scores in regulation on us, and the only one they could get by Noah Giesbrecht was on a tip. So Noah played really, really well. In the second period, they really carried the play, I thought, and Noah stood tall throughout the second period to keep it 1-1 going into the third.
Obviously, for some of your seniors playing their final home game, maybe a little extra motivation here in this one for that group?
Yeah, I think so. And we've got 11 seniors. Now, a few we may get back next year because of the COVID year. We're just not certain which ones are coming back and which ones are going to be moving on. The good news is they all will have their degrees at the end of this year, and that's the important thing. And you can see here, we're trading chances with Northern in the third period, and both teams had really good opportunities, good looks. Here's a really good save by Noah in the last minute of regulation.
Go to overtime here, 3-on-3 overtime, and obviously it changes a little bit with a few less players on the ice here in overtime.
Yeah, all of a sudden things open up, and the first, I think, 3 minutes of action, there was hardly any in the 3-on-3. In the last 2 minutes, we traded 2-on-1 chances with them, and if both goalies hadn't played that well, it would have gone, and that would have never got to a shootout.
Here, the shootout, you guys will get a couple goals, and then Noah Giesbrecht, as he did all night, a big performance here in the shootout. He
had a great performance, and Stepan Corney scored the one goal for us in the shootout, and that was enough with the way Noah was playing. So a great win on senior night.
Obviously, you celebrated that senior class, special pregame ceremony, and then a postgame event that took place across the hall in Wink Arena. And group of 11 seniors that I know that have meant a great deal to the program.
I love that post-game event. It's our second year doing it, and we'll keep doing it into the future. It was an opportunity where the guys could sit down, and you talk about crowds. We had a great crowd in Link Arena for it, and the guys each get a chance to say some thank yous and talk to the fans. So great night all the way around. But again, you gotta have that win for that night to turn out the way it did.
Obviously, this group here, maybe not the wins they wanted from the beginning to end, but a group that's really kind of led the way here for some younger guys in the program.
Yeah, that's right, and it's a great senior class. As a group, they're above a 3.75. They're all going to get their degrees. They led the way in our community service efforts, where right now we've logged over 400 hours of community service as a team. So, and these guys are the ones that lead the way and show the younger players how things are done and how we like Bulldog Hockey to be seen in the community and in the campus community. So, a great group of guys.
You mentioned earlier the last game here of the regular season against Lake Superior, and then on to the postseason, and this group of seniors is going to kind of lead the way, hopefully to get some playoff victories for your program.
Well, regrettably, we're going to have to be on the road. You know, obviously, it would have been great to have home ice for it, but last year we went on the road and swept Bowling Green in 2 games, and we're either going to be at Bemidji or Minnesota State, one of the 2 schools, and we'll know on Saturday night when the regular season ends. But you know, I think we're going to go in with a dose of confidence. We've played some pretty good hockey here in the second half. It's, you know, we haven't seen a team yet, you know, all season in conference, out of conference that we don't feel we can beat. So we'll go in with knowing we've got good goaltending and our penalty kills improved, and we're starting to score some goals on the power play. So we'll actually go in with a good deal of confidence.
This year, one of those years where anyone could win the CCHA tournament.
Yeah, I feel we have a chance. I think we've got a pathway to it, and I want to give it our best effort to take that pathway and to win the conference title in the playoffs.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck here at Lake Superior, and then obviously into the postseason.
Thank you, Rob.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. A reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.